Thank all the rest who are here also. Folks, you ever wake up in the morning and you say, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? You know, I come here, I give people my life experiences, I give them my wisdom, I try to make people happy. And I think some people I am making happy and helping. You know, I'm getting more subscribers, I'm getting more views, okay? And folks, don't get me wrong, I want to make money here, okay? Because my time is valuable. And I don't mean working for a couple of dollars. Folks, so far this month, all right? So far this month, I made $4.25, all right? In 5 days on YouTube. Why am I making less money? I made more money when I have 4 or 5 thousand subscribers and less views. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not a technology guy, and I'm never going to be a technology guy because I deplore technology, but yet here I am. Okay? Hi, Snake. I'm talking about I wake up in the morning and I think maybe I should stop social media. My life will become better, okay? It'll give me more opportunity to go out there and make some real money because I'm still young, I'm still agile, and I can still think, okay? But anyways, you know, Nancy, hi, good afternoon. I'm very happy, all right, that I'm making you more confident. Mandy, I know you and I have been messaging, and I'm glad I'm helping you. So I am helping a lot of people here. So, and that's the only reason I'm here. Otherwise, I say screw it, folks, okay? I say I'm getting the hell out of here, all right? Because, folks, trust me, I know how to make money, but I don't know how to make money here. Okay? And I don't want to ask people to hit that thanks button and all that bullshit. Okay? I shouldn't have to do it, and anybody that's on YouTube should not. Okay? You don't see me posting hitting that thanks button like everybody. Cash App, everybody's got all that up there. Okay, you don't see me doing that shit. What do I think about Nancy Pelosi, Congressman? Huh? I don't know. Is she running again? I don't think about her, folks. Because Nancy Pelosi and all these politicians, okay? All these politicians had done nothing but ruin your lives and ruin my life. If any of you think, and you should not even think of these people, folks, and you know what? I'm going to make a suggestion here. Don't even vote, all right? Don't vote because our vote don't mean shit. You see what Donald Trump's doing? Okay? See what he's doing? He wants the GOP to take over national voting. All right? He had Tulsi Gabbard going into Georgia, and they got over 700 boxes of all the voter registration because Trump is still crying about when he lost the election. Here he is, the president who got it back, but he's still crying the blues. Okay? And by the way, all right? By the way, you see some of these people, all right? Thank you, Snake, for Yeah, I appreciate it. $1.99 steak. Hit that thanks button. Folks, are you seeing some youth? Sometimes Trump, okay, here he is. He got everybody around and he's expelling gas. Oh my God. Okay. It's it's really funny, but you got to listen to it. It's there. Okay. Folks, let's talk about happiness. All right. People keep coming here and asking me how old I am. None of your business. Okay? I said that a million times. You know, there's one thing I want to thank everybody that's left me comments, all right, because I thought I might have found a woman that could have been great. She didn't live that far from me and all that there. I met her on our time. Okay, it's a dating app. I think it's owned by Matchmaker, okay, or one of those there. Folks, I met her, beautiful lady, everything I was looking for. And she told me, I thought she was divorced. Okay, why would she be on our time? Well, now I just found out that she is still married. She said she's separated, but yet her husband is with her. I had to cut that out, folks, because I don't date married women. I live by a code. I've done that up all my life. Okay? Folks, if you haven't subscribe, like, share, and all that stuff. Everybody here, Mandy, welcome to the Gangster Circle. Mandy just signed up. Folks, become a member of my Gangster Circle. It's only what? How much, Mandy? I don't even know how much I'm charging there. $1.99. Kiddo, you can't believe I'm dating? You better believe it. I still got it in me. Okay? $4.99, Mandy? Thank you. Folks, $4.99. Join my member circle. Help me out here. You like what I gotta say? Okay? People ask me how young. Oh, I don't know anymore, but I want to talk about what I got to talk about. I want to talk about Sonny Franzese because tomorrow is his birthday. He's going to be, if he were alive, he'd be 109 years old. Yeah, why do people think it's out for older people today? What do you think? We don't need company? We need company more than most of you need company. Okay? All right? See this thing that's all over the news, they can't stop, okay? With this Nancy Guthrie's mother. She's 82 or 84 years old. And somebody kidnapped her. We don't know why. We don't know if she's alive. We don't know nothing. Huh? No, Tammy, I don't have a lady. Okay? I'm open. I keep my mind open. If one walks through that door, you never know. Okay? Yeah, Angela Dundee, would you believe I actually met Angela Dundee down in Florida many, many years ago, Alamo City. Yes, I did. Huh? What was the most money I ever spent in a day? Folks, It was a lot of money. There's so much. When you have money, like I had back in the days, you couldn't count it. Okay, today I can count my money. There's an old saying, okay, that if you can count your money, you're not wealthy. So I'm sure most of us here are on the same boat as I am. I know exactly how much money I got. I liked the ideas when I didn't know because I had so much. Okay? But, you know, life changes, folks. Ups and downs and over and out. But I know one thing. Okay, folks, as you all know, I was friends with Sonny Franzese for over 50 years, right up until the day that he passed away. Six years ago. I believe it was 6 years ago already, folks. I can't believe it. Hey, Exembo, thank you so much for that there. All right. Some people hitting that thanks button today. God bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that there, my friend. XMB. Okay, did I say it properly? I hope I did. You know, folks, being friends with Sonny Franzese is something that you gotta be careful of every single moment. Because Sonny was a very powerful individual. You're reading J. Petty's, Sandra Petty, Sonny. Well, I'm going to tell you all about that book, okay? I'm going to tell you the truth and what's not the truth. I was on the phone with Sonny every time she was there, okay? Sonny would call me up there and say, this idiot reporter was here, and he told her more bullshit, all right? But folks, if you look at the story she did on Newsday, it's right there, Google Newsday, Sonny Franzese. I think it was a 4-part series, and you will see me in almost every part of the series, okay? All right? Yes, man, do I believe in Jesus? Yes, of course I do. Okay? Folks, somebody asked me if I knew Michael Franzese. Okay? Folks, you want to know a lot about me, but nobody wants to spend a nickel. Nobody wants to read, okay? Or listen. Because this book, The Accidental Gangster, is my life story, okay? And in this book, you will find out exactly how I met Sonny Franzese. And it was because of Michael, all right, Franzese, that I met Sonny. Because Michael was threatening a friend of mine. And I stand up for my friends. And that's when I met Sonny. And that was the beginning of a 50-year friendship with him. Okay? And folks, for those of you who don't read, my book is available in Audible and Kindle and everything else that they got it. Okay? But I'm going to talk about Michael. I'm going to talk about Johnny. All right? Johnny was his real son. You put a picture side by side when they were young, Johnny looked just like Sonny. Okay? Michael is his adopted son. All right? It's all out there. Don't take my word. Okay? Go Google it. Find out. Listen. Because God gave you 2 ears. and he wanted you to do twice as much listening as talking. Yes, his son Johnny did become an informant. Michael claims he didn't put nobody away. Michael proffered, okay? Proffering means he told the FBI and the U.S. Attorney everything he knew about a lot of different people, okay? So, believe him, not believe him, that's up to you. I'm not here to put nobody down. Michael and I had our quarrel, we argued, all right? He said lies, but I said the truth, and then we ended it, all right? Yeah, Charlie, I say Michael, Sonny adopted, so it's his son. It's not his blood son, okay, Charles? All right? All right? Why do I put up with people like this for? Okay? See, folks, all right? All right? Yes, it's going to be really made into a movie. Yes. Okay? No bullshit. Just takes forever to get movies made, but it's happening. All right? The announcement will probably be made at the Cannes Film Festival. Okay? But anyways, let's get back to Sonny Franzese. Okay? I met Sonny over 50 years ago. We had a sit down at the Russian Tea Room in New York City on 57th Street. Charles, why am I'm not jealous of Michael. Michael and I talk, Charles. Do you have his phone number, Charlie? Do you call him up? I could. You can't, I bet. Okay? So why you want to come here and start a problem, Charlie? Okay? Mandy was around 1978. Sonny had just gotten out of prison from Leavenworth at that time. Okay? And we had to sit down. Michael was threatening somebody. He had to do auto-related business. Needless to say, the sit-down came out good. All right? And after the I said something in the sit-down. All right? Regina, your cowgirl from San Francisco. I used to live there. My second wife. And she still lives there. Okay? It was a great town back there when I lived there, folks. You wouldn't believe. All right? You know, folks, goodbye, Charlie. See, these guys come on, were never on the streets, who listen to rats, and now they think they're tough guys. All right? All right? I live in the United States of America. You know, folks, you know, I shouldn't be answering every question here, all right? If you write a comment to me, I will. I answer every question people ask me, all right? But while I'm doing this live, it's tough for me to stay on track with what I want to talk about. I know Sonny Franzese's entire family. When I say entire family, I'm talking about the children he had with his first wife, Carmen, Lorraine, Rosemary, okay? That's their names. You don't know them. They don't come on social media. They all are upstanding citizens and pay their taxes. Lorraine's a school teacher. I think she was even a superintendent of schools back in New York. They all did well. Carmen was in the refrigeration business. All great kids from his first wife. He met Tina at the store club. She was working there. All right, very beautiful. Her name was Christina Bianco. All right. I know Christina's mother and father. I met them. I met her brothers. I met them all, folks. So I know the entire family. When I met Sonny for the first time at Trattoria Siciliana in New York, he had his family with him. He had Johnny, Gia, Tina, and Christina, his wife. Okay? Michael was not there. That was the first time I met. Michael was just up and coming at that time. Okay? Perhaps he was 1970. Michael had just gotten made, okay, a little bit before that there. But needless to say, yes, I know the whole family. And I've been through battles. They all had such problems. It was amazing. And Sonny ruined his entire family. There's no question about it, okay? Because, I mean, his kid would go to school and they didn't call his kid like his son Johnny, or they didn't call him Johnny. They said, that's Sonny Franzese's son. It's Sonny Franzese's daughter, okay? But Sonny believed in the life. That was his life. Every ounce of him was involved in the life. It's how he lived. It's what he believed. Okay? And Sonny was everything that every other gangster wanted to be. Okay? Sonny, John Gotti, before John Gotti. Okay? All right, Sonny was a good-looking, debonair, great-looking guy, dressed impeccably, all right? And all the young guys growing up in the neighborhood, they all wanted to grow up to be like Sonny Franzese, okay? And I know that because they told me that. But you know, his son Johnny became an informant on the witness stand. Unlike Michael only went on the stand once. That was against Norby Waters. And for some reason, that bothered Johnny an awful lot. Probably more than anything, because he really loved Norby Waters. And Johnny had no reason. He wasn't under investigation. He had no information. He had no reason to become an informant. He volunteered for it. And he got it. And he wore a wire on his father, on me, and on other people. No, Johnny was an addict. He was a very bad addict. And I tried helping him here in California. I tried helping him in New York. You have no idea the kinds of places that I would have to go to get Johnny out of. You had no idea of the predicaments that he was in, and I bailed him out. Had no idea, folks. Johnny was an addict in the first degree, unquestionably. Michael and I went out together looking for him. Oh, yes, we did. Actually, I think one time Michael's wife, Tammy, was with us. Okay? His daughter Gia, she was a junkie. She died on an overdose at a hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Tina, she died of cancer just before we all got indicted. And that was Sonny's last indictment. He was 93 years old then when he got indicted. I was 63. So, yeah, Sonny was 93. He was born February 6, 1917, folks. Okay? In Naples, Italy. He was a man that never ratted on anybody and never would. But let's talk about when Johnny, I was taking care of Johnny out here. I get a call from Sonny. He asked me, he said, Johnny's going to buy a car from Johnny was in the drug program out there. And he was going to buy a car from one of the guys in the drug program. Sonny asked me to check the car out. I said, yeah, no problem. So I called Johnny. Johnny said, yeah, I'm going to get it, Uncle. As soon as I get the car, I'll be right over and you can take a look, okay? All right. That day goes by, no Johnny. He called me up later that night. He said, I had to come to Glendale. It was Glendale or Pasadena, one of those, that he had to pick the car up. He says, I'll be there tomorrow morning. All right. Next morning, no Johnny. Next thing you know, Tina is calling me, his mother, Sonny's calling me. They're calling everybody. I'm calling everybody. I'm calling people that Johnny introduced me to that were his so-called friends in the program. Nobody's seen Johnny. So Sonny calls me back to New York. I fly into New York. I think it was a Thursday night. On Friday at my hotel, Sonny always stayed with me when I would be in New York. We had a meeting at that hotel. It was me, Guy Furtado, who was the main informant against us and put us in prison. Michael Carapano, who was the acting captain, and Sonny. And it was there that Sonny told Furtado, you gotta go and do this to Johnny. Yeah, this. He didn't say it. That's how Sonny was. Everybody knew what he meant. And next day, I'm leaving to go back to California. So Sonny and I are in front of the Warwick Hotel, waiting for Chris, who was Sonny's driver, to pick Sonny up. And I'm waiting for my driver to take me to Kennedy Airport. And Sonny and I talk, I said, Sonny, I got a great private investigator, want me to put it on, try to find Johnny? He says, nah, he says, don't waste your money. I says, okay. I get my car, I go to Kennedy Airport. I go there, I get my ticket, I go to the gate, put my bag down. Before my flights, I always stop in the men's room to have a smoke. When I come out of the men's room, I'm approached by two young guys. They go, hey, Ori. I look at them, they were young guys. My first thought is, maybe they're some friends of my son's and on the same flight back to Los Angeles as I am, and then they put out their credentials, FBI. They said, we needed to talk to you. We stepped to the side. They said, you could stop looking for Johnny. Johnny is with us. He's on Team America. I said, well, thank you, I said. I said, so I'm going to call his mom and dad and let them know where their son is. They said, we prefer you didn't. I said, I don't care what you prefer. That's their mother and father. They should know where their son is at. They says, Ori, we're going to give you, this is going to be your last chance. You could join Team America right now. Otherwise, this is going to be your last flight on a commercial airplane. And I looked at him. I said, no thanks. I'll take my chances. I said, you're not arresting me now, right? No. I said, goodbye. I went to a payphone. I called Sonny and Tina and told them where Johnny was, that he was on a witness protection program. Okay? That's the first time that it was confirmed where Johnny was. It was me who told him. And the FBI were correct. That was my last commercial flight. Because it was not long after that that we all got indicted. 14 of us on a Colombo crime family indictment. And my next flight was on Con Air, and they brought me back to Brooklyn, New York. It's all in my book, folks. You Google my name, you know who I am. So, folks, please hit that subscribe button, like and share. I listened to the tapes. I listened to the tapes that Johnny had. He taped his father and his mother at the dinner table. Can you imagine that? He testified. I got the transcript right in my closet in a box over there. And when he took the stand, the U.S. attorney asked him, who are some friends of your father's? First name he comes out with. Ori Spado's been friends with my father for over 35 years. I was the very first name. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine, but that's the truth. And the U.S. attorney asked him, what does Mr. Spado do? Oh, Mr. Spado, he's a drug dealer. Yeah, drug dealer. When he gets cross-examined, Chris's lawyer asked him. So he said, Mr. Spado never worked a day in his life and he was a drug dealer. Yeah, that's right. What about the 15 years Mr. Spado provided entertainment for the Queen Mary in Long Beach? His answer, oh, I forgot about that. Next question. What about when Mr. Spado was working with Andrea Bocelli? You're not going to believe this, folks. I got the transcript. You can get that court transcript, okay? You don't want to believe me. He said, Ori knew Andrea Bocelli. He never told me. I would have loved to meet Andrea. Folks, honest to God, okay? That's what he said. You could believe the judge heard that. And I believe that's helped me out more than it damaged me. You see, Johnny was a druggie. I knew he was a druggie. I tried helping him out. And if you know anything about addicts or alcoholics, you can't help them out, okay? The decision's got to be their decision. And it took Johnny a long time. He did sober up finally. And when he was sober for a year, it was me that he called and asked me to go to an AA meeting in the marina. And he gave a great speech. And he wanted his cousin, my son, Anthony, we both went. And he said at the speech, he says, I'm happy my Uncle Ori and my cousin Anthony came here today. I hope I am allowed back in his home. Because I had to cut him out, folks, okay? I was there. Michael wasn't. Yes, folks, I know the Franzese family, inside and out. As a man, I love Sonny. Sonny was a great guy, very intelligent. But like anybody else in that life, not somebody to really trust because he could turn on you like that, okay? He approved the unaliving of his son, Michael. He approved it on his son, Johnny. That's how much he believed in the life, okay? That's how much he believed in the rules of the life. Yes, his wife died right after the trial of cancer. Sonny did get out of prison, ended up in a nursing home in Queens, where he and I talked a few times a week. And it was me who announced his death at 4 a.m. in the morning, because I sent the guy named Carlo, a good friend of ours, to the hospital the moment I knew his son was in the hospital. Because a nurse at the home that Sonny was in Queens told me they had to rush Sonny to the hospital. And I sent Carlo, and he stayed with Sonny until Sonny passed away. I got the call. And as soon as I got the call, I went and I did an Instagram post with my picture and Sonny Franzese's picture, saying, my dear friend, Sonny Franzese has passed away. Next thing you know, boom, Vlad picks it up. You all know who Vlad TV is. He picks it up and announces it over his network. He's got over 5 million people. And Spado announced the death of Sonny Franzese. And then some magazine picked it up, and then next thing you know, I'm getting a call from TMZ, all right, to confirm it. That's how it all came down, folks. And tomorrow, if he were alive, 109 years old. Here's a picture of Sonny in maybe in his 50s. You gotta admit, folks, a very good-looking guy. And I'm gonna tell you, I seen him pick up more women. You can't believe how good he was. okay? And there's one woman. Everybody thinks it's Marilyn Monroe, but it wasn't Marilyn Monroe. It was somebody that was more, uh, should I say, famous uh, than Marilyn. Very tough, a very, very famous person on the in the political side. Okay? And I know the whole story there. I'm not going to tell you who it was. But Sonny did have an affair with her. Yeah. So rest in peace, my friend. Because there's sure a lot of shit going out here in the world that's not good. Folks, thank you for joining me today. I want to thank you all for all your love and support you've been giving me. All my love and respect right back to all of you. Thank you, folks.